And the brain farts are the things that we do in our head that frankly get in the way of our success, specifically when it comes to trading. And I want to share with you one of my greatest discoveries as I've been studying psychology and also taking a deep dive into my psyche when it comes to trading and having success in trading. And what I call this segment is our integrity intervention segment. And I'm going to share with you probably one of the strongest pieces of tech that is coming out in my book, Find Your Hidden Strengths, in April. We'll have a pre-release, and I'll keep you guys updated on like how you can get access to this book. But I go through numerous distinctions, numerous technologies that has helped my psyche align with wealth and create an abundant life for myself. And one of the greatest conversational pieces that has changed my life is this word called integrity. Now, to set you up around this, integrity needs to be defined because for most people, integrity has some type of moral meaning. It has like this meaning around like our moral uprightness. And for this conversation, we're just not going to talk about that. This is not what integrity means for this conversation. Can it mean that in other conversations? Absolutely. But for this context, it does not work. Integrity is defined as the state of being whole and complete. And the best way I've been able to describe this is like a bridge. If a bridge lacks integrity, does it have any moral code or obligation? No, it doesn't even think about that. It doesn't think about the truck that's going to drive over it. It doesn't think about the consequence of it. It's just a bridge. And when you operate with integrity like that, you can actually handle and increase the amount of integrity you have, which frankly, integrity and abundance, like they're two things that work together. They're the things that are going to have your life work more. It's going to have you attract more of the things that you want, and frankly, get it in a lot shorter period of time. Now, if a bridge, and you guys see these all the time, is under construction, maybe it's an old bridge and one of the pillars is breaking out or the floor is giving out. If a bridge lacks integrity, you might question yourself of whether you would take your truck with your load across the bridge to the other side. Why? Because the risk of it breaking and you losing everything that you have on your truck. You also might consider losing, it might cost you your life. It may cost you harm or damage. It may slow things down. And so the integrity of the bridge is imperative for the job it's intended to do. And that's to allow people, persons, vehicles, so forth to cross safely. Now, when a bridge is broken, all that's wanted is for it to get fixed. If a leg falls out, it's like it needs new support. If the floor falls out, it just needs to get patched up. And the problem is unlike a bridge, when we make a promise or we make an agreement or a goal, and it specifically has to do with money in this case, and we don't keep the agreement, we don't treat it like a bridge for some reason. We treat it like this moral thing, and then we beat ourselves emotionally. We go see therapists around it. And then next year, we look at our tax return, and it looks exactly the same or within some bracket of the previous year. And we start scratching our heads going, why does Joe Blow over there make twice as much as me, and I'm still stuck in this like support and resistance around my personal finance? Well, this is why. And I'm going to give you access to this in a very short window. There's a lot more. I have chapters on this in my book to how to unpackage this. But I'm going to give you a distinction on how you can live your life and how to apply these steps so that you can actually have integrity around the thing that you want. And when you break or lack or lose integrity around something, you can restore it as quickly as possible because frankly, guys, no one knows how to do this. I would say 90+% of the people that I coach have no integrity structure on how to clean it up. And let me share why. When you were young, integrity was not taught because our parents, frankly, were lazy. It was the easier way to do things to just when your brother hit you or you broke a window or you did something wrong, what did your parents typically tell you to do? They would say something like, go apologize. And then once there was an apology, and if they felt like it was sincere enough, they would say, okay, you're good. He's suffered enough that he'll remember not to do it the next time. No, I guarantee he's going to do it again. I guarantee without the components in this setup, if any of these are missing, they will do it again. And this is why, guys, your relationships don't work. This is why you're stuck financially. This is why spiritually you're struggling and suffering. This is why your health isn't elevating to new levels and you're not having the fit bod that you want, or gain the weight, or lose the weight that you want, or quit the smoking, or whatever it is. It's because you treat things like a 5-year-old, and we know no better. And then we teach our kids through the same mechanism. And so my first rule is to drop sorry. The first rule when you're having an integrity intervention, something you promised you would do, or some goal you didn't meet, or something that you said was going to happen, an agreement you made doesn't, drop sorry. Stop saying it. There is no good reason on this planet to apologize. I have never seen it being effective, and it's actually a cop-out because it actually creates another agreement. Like if someone comes in late, let me give you this example. Someone walks in late to my office and they're like, oh, sorry, man, the traffic was crazy, blah, blah. And if I do this thing and I go, okay, like, that's fine, I get it. Yeah, traffic is tough. And I accept the apology and nothing else on this list, I've actually created a new agreement. One, that's okay to do. And then two, I've also created a mutual agreement that you're going to give me a hall pass for also not having integrity. And so what goes on in the world? We're just like creating all of these empty promises with people, and we're actually adding a level of power, you could say, around people having less integrity in their life. I don't let people do that. They show up late. We end up doing this with them because I want it to change. I don't want the behavior to happen again. And frankly, when it comes to time, I value my time on a very high level. So we drop sorry, and then we see the broken agreement. If it's someone else who's broken agreement with you, you help them acknowledge, well, what was our agreement? What did you say you were going to do? And then what didn't happen? And you don't need to yell or scream, and definitely don't make them feel bad. Do everything in your power, actually, to not have them enter a place of shame and guilt. Because if they go into the place of shame and guilt, they will have no power to restore integrity to their broken agreement. All right, so then they go in, they're like, you know what, Matt? I was late. I see that I said I was going to be here at 3 o'clock. It's 3:15. Got it. And then it's like, okay, what was the impact? And the impact you have to see as the leverage to actually make the difference in the next two steps. And this is hard. No one likes to see the impact because sometimes it's painful, but it's the cost. It's the payoff you took was being lazy. The payoff you took was not getting up early to be on time, whatever. But the cost is like, when you do this all the time, what does life look like? What do people see about you? What is your reputation around being on time? And so all of that has to do with impact. It also, like when he came in late, that's 15 minutes less that we'll have together to get whatever we needed done. It may push my next meeting back. I may have to shift things in my schedule. We may have to reschedule altogether. This is impact. And once you see it, you start to really value, oh my gosh, if I could get rid of this long-term cost, I'm going to change this. Or you might discover you won't and you don't want to. And that's step 4, recommit or don't. When you get the impact, you might actually go, I'm not agreeing to do that anymore. I'm not that person for you, or you can count on me being late next time. And you know what? There are people in my life that I haven't done this with, but they just show up late all the time. So I actually tell them to be there 15 minutes early, right? Because I'm taking accountability and having integrity around working with who they are in reality. Once you've gone to a place where it's like, you know what? I can see the cost and benefit around this. I'm going to do this again. I want my financial situation to change. I want to hit my goals that I set last year and did not accomplish, whatever it is. This is the most crucial part, and I spend chapters in my book unpackaging this, levels of power on how to create a new agreement, how to create a new structure that's really powerful. But this is the gem. If you don't create something new to do around that structure, around restoring, patching that bridge, putting up the new pole, if you don't create something new, you will repeat the cycle again until the lesson is learned. Let me share more about that. Someone walks in late. I'm coaching them on how to clean this up. They tell me, I can see the impact. I can see like this cost you a bunch of time, me a bunch of time. They go through the whole thing. And I'm like, well, next time you set up a time, do you want to be on time or not? And they say, yes. It's like, great. Well, what are you going to do different? And they'll say, well, I'm going to try harder. Nope, that's not it. Well, I'll make sure that it's on my calendar. Then I'll ask, was it on your calendar this time? And if they say yes, it's like, well, that's not it. And they're like, well, okay, I know that there's these alerts that I can put on my calendar that give me a text reminder. I've never done that before, but I'll try that. Great. That's something new. And that might be the thing specifically tailored to you that would work. Where someone else might need to wear a bracelet that's like, it reminds them to be on time. Someone might need to create a simple reminder. Someone might need to hire a coach. Whatever it is, there's all different kinds of levels of power around this, by the way. Whatever it is, it just needs to be something new. And this is so crucial when you're creating a new structure to restore integrity. You need to hold it with a very loose grip because it's new. It may take you 10 tries to master this thing, to create the new habit, to discover the thing that will work for you. But maybe the alarms or alerts on your calendar isn't it for you. Maybe it is a ring or like a bracelet that reminds you. Maybe it's a stopwatch. Maybe it's, whatever. It just doesn't matter. But you've got to keep trying, and you have to be willing and open to the possibility that that new structure won't work. Like, it's a test. It's not the answer. And if you can create new structures around things in your life that are not working, like Albert Einstein, it's like he didn't discover the light bulb. He just discovered 10,000 ways the light bulb wouldn't work first. If you can be that committed to having integrity around whatever your goals are, you will get the answer as long as you hold the new structure lightly. And then if the possibility doesn't create that, then it's something different that you get to do. And if you can live like that and keep going through this, every time that you fail, every time that you miss the mark, you will eventually find the thing for you, and it will occur light. It will occur easy. And this works, guys, for trading. This works for changing your financial situation. You just have to create a new structure. And it could be all kinds of things, from changing your environment, changing your friends, changing who you get advice from, what type of tools and technologies you use, what types of influence and things you allow to change the possible outcome. There's infinite possibilities. And you just have to find one to try the next time, hold on to it loose. If it doesn't work, put it down, try something again. All right, so really excited about my book launch, by the way. April is when it's coming out. You're going to hear a lot about that as we continue to get closer to that date. And I'm giving away my best gems, the things that have brought me the most success. And it really has to do with your weakness, I've found. And the whole book is about that. It has to do with the parts, the muscles that we don't exercise that actually give us the biggest lift.